Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back. Welcome back. At least that's what Tom says all the time when he's here. To The Local Show.
Well, hello, Steve.
There we go. So Tom isn't with us.
Well, he's
anymore.
We shouldn't say it like that.
Yeah,
he's not with us anymore. He hasn't passed. He's just under the weather, as they say.
He is under the weather, and we care about him, and we didn't want to catch his disease.
We care about him, so we don't want him here, so we don't get sick.
So
yes, we care a lot.
So we didn't. So we're and thank you, George, for stepping in.
Thank you for asking me.
George, just so people know, is from Powers Accounting here in Liverpool, where everybody counts. Is that true, George?
Everybody counts. That's right. That's good. I should take that.
Yeah. So, George,
Powers Accounting.
So I was doing
accounting for life.
So hold on. I was doing some research online, and I thought you had a saying that was yours originally. You never. You're like Joe Biden. You didn't attribute it to someone you stole it from. So there's a quote, George, online that says this.
Oh.
It says, for every tax problem encountered, there's a solution that's straightforward, uncomplicated, and wrong. George, I've heard you say that many times, but never, all this time thought, wow, George, that was quippy. George, good. You stole that.
I steal a lot of things I say. That's the game of business, isn't it? Find someone that does something you like and steal it and make it your own.
Well, it's the greatest form of flattery.
Right.
So Powers Accounting, gpowers.com. So do you make the simple complex, or do you make the complex simple?
Depending on the situation.
So
there are some times when clients ask a question that they think they've found a simple solution to their problem. And if you think you have found the one solution that nobody else has come up with, you're probably wrong.
Okay, so people say, well, I lease my car that way. The business pays for it, and anybody that doesn't do that's nuts.
Yeah, and the neighbor. My neighbor does this.
Right.
Okay, and it does this for him. You got to look at a little bit of everything. So simple solutions can work, but a lot of times they don't accomplish the real goal. So that's the big question is, okay, what are you trying to accomplish? Because we have a lot of clients that come to us and say that I want to do this. And then we have to say, okay, what is it you're trying to accomplish?
But isn't everybody trying to pay less tax? Isn't that what they're trying to accomplish? So keep more and give less to the government?
More people are trying to, keep more money, make more money.
Okay.
And isn't that the idea? Make more money, keep more money. And you may pay taxes because making a tax deduction to save 30 cents on the dollar is not saving money. So if you're blowing $1 just so you don't have to pay 30 cents in tax, you're wasting 70 cents. So taxes are very important. Okay, I'm not going to minimize that at all. Right. But the bottom line is, what are you trying to accomplish with your life? What are your goals? What do you want your family to have? What do you want your kids to have? What do you want to do for retirement? That's the ultimate goal. Do you sometimes have to pay taxes? Yes, you sometimes do to accomplish.
Do you like making that call?
Making which call?
You're calling the business owner. Oh, by the way, do you want the good news or the bad news? You made a lot of money.
Yeah, they always know when I start that way. You had
there's applause.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we try to do with our clients, our business clients, is we have those conversations before the end of the year. October, November, December, we're talking to our business clients because that's what we're moving more and more towards, our client care service that we offer our clients. We do monthly work for them. We talk to them. And so at the end of the year, we're doing tax planning. We're looking at their books. We're saying, hey, this is what we think you're going to owe in taxes in March and April. At that point in time, we are already discussing things to do to reduce their taxes. So the tax return should not be a surprise. It should be the punctuation on the end of the sentence.
So is it true, George?
Is it true?
Is it true?
They usually start something
Is it
bad.
true that a fine is a tax for doing wrong, but a tax is a fine for doing well? Is that true?
That's good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, in a sense it is. And like I said, everybody wants to pay as low taxes as possible, and that's reasonable. But again, you got to go back to the idea. Sometimes you have to pay taxes in order to keep the differential.
What is the state of affairs in small business in New York right now?
It depends on the day. New York itself is rather difficult. They keep coming up with more and more rules. And unfortunately, the only people that follow the rules are the people that follow rules. So they come up with rules to stop people from doing wrong. And then the people that were following the rules that didn't need the rules in the first place follow the new rules, and the people that didn't follow the rules in the first place still don't follow the new rules. So New York State loves to throw rules at people, and then they ignore them and create new rules.
So like unfunded mandates kind of things? Like you need to do
tons of
this?
stuff. I mean, now they've got things in advertising. When you advertise for a job, laws on that. It's just foolishness. They keep coming up with more and more silliness, making it harder and harder to do business in New York State. I don't want to get in rant and raving on New York State, because other states have it too, but it is frustrating with what our current state government is doing. And most small business owners are trying, not all, I'm not silly enough to say that all small business owners want to take care of their folks, but most folks, it's a team approach. They want to take care of their folks. They're not trying to hurt them, but it should be a joint effort as opposed to always coming down against the business owners.
Does Powers have a niche? Like, are you, so accounting, I know your business, but is there like industry or business that's like your hotspot, or are you more diluted than that?
We do a lot of different businesses. What we mainly are working on, most of our clients come to us after they've been in business a couple of years. They realize a couple of things they need. They have a little bit more needs. So anywhere between 2 to 10 to 20 years. They have a couple of employees. So they're going along and they're working hard. They've got a business and they need a little of additional support. So that's most of them. Industry-wise, we probably deal mainly, we have a lot of contractors. We deal a fair amount of food service and a lot of non-MD professionals, chiropractors, dentists, things like that. So we do a lot of work with folks like that.
Okay. Is there, so here it is, November. If someone has a small business, are there things that they should think of right now?
Yes.
That would
before December 31st.
Yeah, like what?
Well, you can sometimes put your kids in the payroll. There's you can rent your own home to yourself for, if you're incorporated, for 14 days, tax-free.
Wait, hold please. So you can rent your home to yourself.
Yeah, called the Augusta rule. So if you have a corporation and say that you want
is an S corp a corporation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And say you wanted to have an outing, a team event. So your corporation could rent your home. And this is just not, this was created, the Augusta Golf Tournament. It goes out for 14 days. So you could rent your house out to people for 14 days and it's non-taxable income.
Okay.
On the 15th day, it all becomes taxable. So as business owners, what they can do is they can rent their own home from themselves for a meeting. Has to be reasonable rent, fair rent, and you can rent it, and then that becomes non-taxable income. That is something, these things that can happen. They can do. Now that's small. It's little things.
What are the big things? What are the things like now for maybe it's mom and pop, maybe you got 20 or 30 employees. What should they do now?
It really does depend on the business. I can't give you this is obviously now is what you want to be looking for to buy equipment. You also want tax planning is not a single year event. It's a multi-year event. So you could say, okay, I'm going to pay a lot of my 2024 expenses in 2023, and that would certainly help your tax year this year, but then it makes you have more taxes next year.
Why are you looking at me?
And it's not a bad thing. It's just something that I like to discuss with the clients. You can buy equipment and write it off. That also can be done. Is it always the best thing to do? I can't say that it always is. Sometimes you get your tax deductions ahead of your cash flow. That's also not necessarily a good thing.
Real quick, how do I put my residency in Florida and not pay all the taxes from New York?
You have to move. But if your business is here, you're still paying the taxes, buddy.
Wow, okay.
Because your business is here, your rentals are here, you pay taxes to New York. You pay tax, as a New York citizen, you pay tax on your worldwide income. If you move to Florida, you only have to pay tax to New York on your New York income.
Okay. So last question.
But you got to really move.
Last question, which some might consider a joke. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. What's the difference between lawyers and accountants, George?
I can't remember the answer to that one.
That's okay. Accountants know they're boring. Thank you, George Powers, for coming. Powers Accounting, gpowers.com, gpowers.com. And if you need to talk business accounting stuff, that's George. So welcome back. So come back to the local show. Our next set, we've got Sean Dupree, owner of Top Notch Roofing. And yes, you can get a roof in the winter.
Oh, boy.
Right now, coming up next.
It's not me doing it.
There we go, on the local show.